So I've got a couple helpers with me here today. It's day 2. They're going to help me clean the piano, and the plan right now is to pull all the keys out. I went through last night and I kind of got some of the old dust and stuff off of them and renumbered them. So I'm going to pull them out. We're going to vacuum and clean underneath the keys to get all the dust and disintegrating felt bits and everything out of there. And then I think we'll go through and actually try to... Oh, you got a fly?
Nope.
We'll go through and try to start polishing the pins and things like that underneath here. So that's the plan for right now. Go ahead and get started. That's kind of gross.
What?
Mouse skeleton?
Cool! I thought you would tell Mom.
I got all the keys out and I found some old remnants of some critters that were living in here. Got some mouse skeletons. Oops, I'm focusing on the wrong part. It's not going to help you guys out. There we go. You see that? Just apparently they live
Where's the head of the mouse
their entire lives in here. I don't know. The heads look like they're gone. Maybe. At least they died in here. But yes, look at all this old disintegrating felt and dirt and crud and everything that was in here. All the keys are out. We're gonna clean the pins up and stuff like that. But first things first, this needs to get cleaned. There we go, I got it cleaned out now. So it sucked all the dustness. And kids say here it doesn't smell bad anymore.
Oh yep, smell it.
There was some mouses, dead mice in there from who knows how long. They were down to just skeletons, but got it vacuumed out. So we're going to get ready here to clean the pins off. That's the next step. And my helpers are going to get to help me for the first time here. What I was hoping to have you guys help me with was actually these pins.
I'll do that.
Yep. So we're going to not use all of this, but the plan that I wanted to do, and we can keep getting little sections of it if we need to.
How much of this we used to have?
Is take these, like on these pins, and go up and down.
Okay, there.
And get them smooth. You see how that's smooth? More smooth? So we got to do that to every single one. So that's what I was hoping to get you guys' help for. And all these little felt pieces, these are these ones, especially here in the middle, at the top is where they seem to be the most worn out at. So we want to get them smooth all the way from top to bottom.
That's probably good.
Smooth. They all need to get done, so.
Dad, are you going to make this one go really fast too?
We'll see.
Not that bad.
What's that?
This part's my favorite, I
I might need more of this steel wool.
might need a bigger piece. Yeah, you're really going to need a bigger piece.
Try to get as much use out of the piece as you can, okay?
Got it.
So what you can do is just kind of wrap it around and just go up and down with it. Or you can like go up and down on one side, and you come around the other side, go up and down with it, go up the top. So this is what I'm working on right now. I'm taking these balance rail pins, and we'll be doing the front rail pins too, but I'm going through and I'm cleaning them and polishing them with steel wool. So you can see here in the middle of the keyboard, these pins are just corroded and gross looking. They've got a lot of buildup on them. They're not very smooth. If you feel up and down, especially up at the top, there's a lot of buildup there. You can kind of see. What I'm doing is I'm actually going through, and you can see in these pins here, these are much smoother now. I've gone through with some steel wool, and all I do is I just wrap it around the pin, and I just rub the pin with the steel wool, polish it back. And this is just the really fine steel wool, and work on these pins long enough, gets them back into good smooth operation. So this is going to take a long time, but this is really what we want to do to be able to save these pins and make them usable. So we've got more work to do, but this is kind of the close-up view. There's Lily. She's scrubbing away at those pins with the steel wool to get them polished up all nice.
Is that part of your video?
I don't know, do you want it to be?
Okay.
Do you like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it fun? It's like school? Because it... You said it was relaxing? Yeah.
I'm gonna get bit by a mouse skeleton.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
So I've got the action out here, and I've got my air compressor on, and I'm going to go through and try to blow out a lot of this dust. So got it set up here, we'll see what it does. Ooh.
Looks like it worked.
There we go. So that seems probably about as good as I'm going to get it without taking it apart and cleaning it further. So, call it good. Here we can see what my daughter and I have been working on. I don't know if you saw the pictures beforehand, but this was just filthy, messy, dirty. There were even a couple what looked like mouse skeletons in here. So this underneath the keys was just completely disgusting. We went through and we got it cleaned out, and we actually started working on polishing the balance rail pins. I need to come back still and do the front rail pins, but at least this is a good start here to getting this thing cleaned out. I may look and see if there's anything I need to do to the wood to try to make sure it's clean. It kind of still smells a little bit. I don't know how. I mean, if the mouse, any evidence of a mouse nest, these things were long dead and gone before I took possession of this piano, but I don't know if it's just the old wood smell or if it's leftover remnants from just the gross decay and felt breaking down, all that kind of stuff in there. But I may look to see if I can do something to make this wood, either seal it or saturate it with alcohol or something like that to freshen it up a bit. But that's kind of what I'm thinking here. But we got more work to do, but it's getting much cleaner than it was before. So really really happy with what we've been able to do so far in just a couple days. Hi everyone, what I'm going to go through here is trying to remove these old ivory key tops and key fronts to get back down to the base wood keys so that I can get ready to install my new white plastic key tops. The setup I've got here in front of me, I'm going to try the heat gun method. So I'm going to try to heat up the keys to soften the adhesive, and once I get those heated up, actually go through then and either with a sharp putty knife or straight razor here, actually go through and scrape the tops off the keys. And what I've got is a couple bags, 3 bags, so I can save the fronts, the tops, and I guess the longer tops, if those are the stems. I don't know what exactly they're called there, it's slipping my mind. But that's the plan, is to keep those, save those, and perhaps I can find somebody that could put them to use. But for me and my goals for this refurbishment, these keys are too far gone, just the severe amount of chipping and missing tops. I don't think I want to try to restore these or try to get ivories going back again. I'm just going to plan on replacing these with the new plastic key tops and going from there. In fact, I can probably grab them. I got some packages in over the weekend with my new key tops. So you can take a look. So this is what I ordered in. The key tops, I got a full set of the whites in plastic. And if I look at these a little bit more here, it's kind of all wrapped up, but you get a sense of what exactly I ordered. Here's a layer. Then we got the individual whites. And these are the full key top and front sets. These are the separated ones, so they're just taped together, but these will go and they'll actually take the place. They'll glue on right on top, so I'm going to have nice, clean, white looking keys, and I think that will help with the finish overall to look better. And then it will also work well with me. I've got kids. This piano is going to be in our living room. It's going to be getting used all the time, and so these should be a lot easier to stay clean and nice long term as well. So that's part of what weighed into my decision to do plastic rather than trying to restore and refinish these ivory keys. So that's the plan. I'm gonna just kind of go down the line here, and all the white keys, go ahead and try to remove the key tops from those and save those and donate them to a piano technician who may be able to use them for their customers, but I don't plan to keep them for my piano here. So we'll get started and see how it goes. Okay. I am going to wear gloves just to protect my hands a little bit. These are not, these keys are not these gloves are not heat resistant, but they're work gloves meant for cut resistance, stuff like that. I don't imagine these are going to get very hot. So we'll see how well this goes. I mean, this one already, I don't know if you can see it, but it's already peeling out, so I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble getting these off. I'm going to start off with this on low, and it's just got a flat base so it can sit like this. I'll heat these for a few seconds. See how it goes. Not done this before, so I'm learning here. A little more heat. came off pretty cleanly. And notice this front's got a little bit of mesh on it. Like I was saying, this front has a little bit of mesh on it. I was reading up a little bit. I don't know if this is something done after the fact to try to repair. I'll have to scrape these clean, but for right now, I'll leave that. The key tops themselves, you can see that mesh isn't underneath these. It's not really even applied to the ivory, so this came off pretty clean. There's a little bit of wood that chipped off on the front, but pretty minimal. With the plastic keys, I may go in and fill these, but I may not need to. I'll have to do a little bit of reading up on that, but we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly how long that took me, but I got through all the keys and I got the ivories off. There we go, that's a cheap knife. But went through and took the ivory tops and fronts off of all the keys. So now I'm back down to just the raw wood. Oops, this one here. One of the fronts. These fronts I found came off pretty easy. There we go. What seemed to work best, the heat gun worked pretty well from what I could tell. It seemed like a lot of the glue had already started delaminating along the backs of the keys, so there was really some glue spots on the front, and then the key tops on the front part, those were glued on a little bit better. Of all the keys, I kept the ones that basically were in still good condition. At least the fronts weren't chipped. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So out of all these keys, I only have 6 top fronts that are still in good non-chipped condition. And 1 or 2 of them maybe have little microchips on the underside of these front corners, but not much. I think that's going to call it a night. Really what I've been working on this weekend is polishing up the pins. So I had my oldest daughter, she helped me polish those for about 3 hours yesterday. My youngest daughter, she helped out a little bit too. And she did a lot of work to kind of just dust these keys off, which was kind of helpful for this because they weren't just filthy and coated in dirt. They were still pretty dirty, but at least what was on there was stuck on there. Yeah, other than that, we kind of polished a lot of the key pins. We threw away all the old felts and punchings that were in there. We're going to replace all those with new and re-level the keys. So those were all disintegrating and bad anyway. They weren't worth keeping. So we got rid of those, got those cleaned out. And then really just getting the ivory key tops off of here in the fronts. You know, makes for a lot of work this weekend to get done. So happy with where I'm at so far, and we'll just keep taking this one step at a time. Okay. So here's a quick after picture. Showed you what they looked like before. Here's what they are now, down to just the bare wood. So I don't know, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of work. Get these done, but these needed to get done so that we could get ready to put the new key tops on. So I think the next steps after this, I'm going to go through, I'm actually going to try to soda blast a lot of this old wood back to clean looking wood again. So before I really start working on putting things back together, that's really going to be the next step, is these keys, the action, anywhere else it seems to make sense. Get these stripped down and start soda blasting, so I got something clean to work with. I think then it'll start looking like it's making some progress.